Hello everyone, Fanta here. You're watching FANTAVISION, and we are back with more GameStop news. Just non-stop GameStop news when it comes to what's going on right now that I have to mention vaguely because they are still demonetizing for it. So, GameStop has recently announced a couple different things. Actually, you know what? They only announced one thing. The other thing kind of leaked again. Because GameStop is just the worst put together boat ever. I always talk about it like it's a sinking ship, like it's the Titanic, and it's even more accurate when it has this many leaks. So let's start with what they've officially announced. And they have announced that they are going to be closing 300 stores this year. They haven't said whether or not that this 300 number was determined before what's going on now, before they had to close all of their stores and make it more difficult for people to shop there. So because of what's been happening, I feel like they're going to be closing a lot more than 300 stores. I feel like 300 stores is optimistic for how many they'll be closing this year. I mean, they've been in financial problems even while open in normal conditions, and they've been closing hundreds of stores. So because of this, because of some stores being closed just completely due to legal issues and stuff like that, I feel like we're going to see at least 500 stores close this year. And I still think that is a little bit optimistic because of how long we still have until the new consoles come out and how little I think that those new consoles are actually going to affect GameStop as a whole. I'm sure it will help them, but I don't think it's going to help them as much as they think. And it's not like all of our opinions of the corporation are going to change once these new systems come out. And like I've said time and time again, what is the number one thing GameStop needs to fix? And that's its reputation. And the fact that it has not been able to do that because it continues to do bad things, and this new leak has again put GameStop in a bad light, it's unfixable. It's on a downward trajectory and it's never going to stop. It's just going to continue to go down. They're going to continue to close hundreds of stores until the corporation is no more. That is just a fact because that is what they've done. A store that relies on repeat customers has pissed off everybody. I don't think you're going to recover from that. Back when that news broke about them telling cops to go away and that they're an essential store, that went everywhere. It wasn't just here on YouTube. It wasn't just people like me that talk about GameStop all the time that were laying into them. I mean, it was CNN, it was IGN, it was GameSpot, Kotaku. Everywhere there is some sort of news, it just reported on it. So that reached a wide audience, and now everybody knows just how scummy this company is. This new leak, again, puts GameStop in a terrible light, and that is the fact that they are telling their employees to tape bags, GameStop bags, around their arms to make sure that they're not getting infected. That's right, they are using plastic bags as protection. The next time you go to have sex, try to use a plastic bag. Ask if you can do that instead. I don't feel like wearing a condom. I'm going to wear a plastic bag. See how well that goes over. The employees are surprisingly not happy about what's happening. Let's take a look at what exactly is going on at GameStop. Now, I guess there's been a message titled Chip Card Best Practices that says to lightly, so you're able to get it off easily, tape a GameStop plastic bag over your hand and arm. Do not open the door all the way and keep the glass between you and the guest's face. Just reach out your arms. It's like you open the door just a little bit just to kind of like get your arm around to grab the credit card. And then you go run it. And then you got to give him his game and the bag. And then you got to... I'm just picturing this in my head, and it's just the most ridiculous thing in the world. Now, a lot of the time, those GameStop bags have holes in them. Do they look, oh, there's a breach! There's a breach! I gotta go bleach my hand or something, because they don't have any hand sanitizer. I'm sure they've got some cleaning products for the toilet, so they just have a bucket they dunk their arm in if there's a breach in the and the hazmat bag. Not only is this stupid, not only are people pissed, I mean, They're saying that it's infuriating and it's like they're an animal or a pet, the customers. This is what the manager has to say. We'll get to the legal issues with all this here in a second. So the manager says, I have to make a choice between doing a job that nobody needs during a pandemic and not being paid, and possibly infecting people or being infected. We know for a fact the disease is contagious even when you're asymptomatic. It's true. It's very true. This is a scary thing, and the United States now has more sick people than any other country. And that's crazy. I mean, the numbers keep going up. We're like, 600,000 or something like that worldwide? It's going to keep going up. And for some reason, GameStop is just not taking this seriously, which they're not alone. I guess Lowe's, Home Depot, Hobby Lobby, all those other places are not taking this seriously. And like they said, they could be infecting people. They are protecting themselves with their hazmat bag, but they're not protecting others, because if they're touching other people's credit cards with that hazmat bag, using it over and over and over, unless they're changing out their bag every time, which I doubt many of them are doing, they are getting the germs from that person's credit card onto the bag, and then they're putting it onto the next person's credit card. They're touching with that same bag over and over and over, spreading the germs to each person's credit card. GameStop should just not be open. That is my main message for a lot of these videos that I've made recently. GameStop shouldn't be open. EB Games shouldn't be open. Game UK shouldn't be open. CEX should not be open. All these different used places should not be open. Unless you're selling food, medical supplies, stuff like that, you should not be a store that is open. And the thing is, I did not know this part. GameStop is not considered an essential service. We knew that part. But according to the state, it is not allowed to offer curbside pickup. That's crazy. It says violators may face criminal penalties or a civil fine of $300 per violation. So that means like $300 per day they're open. Or is it per customer? I don't know. The manager said the district leader explicitly told him the store had permission from the state to open. Now, when they're talking about the state says they're not allowed to be open, they're talking about Massachusetts, but I'm sure most states that are having these closures, if you're not an essential business or a restaurant, you are not supposed to be having curbside pickup. But GameStop is doing it anyway. So even though they've changed to curbside, a lot of different states are having laws against this, and they're doing it anyway. Now, I don't know for a fact, I can't say that GameStop is breaking the law here, but I sincerely doubt that the district managers have talked to different government officials to make sure that GameStop can do this. Before they were just randomly labeling themselves as essential, why would I now believe that they're actually going through the proper channels to make sure that they can do this? And if I were a state government official, why would I say that they can stay open? What benefit to my state, the health of my citizens, what would there be the benefit of keeping them open? Best Buy's still open, and they do curbside stuff, and they're considered essential because they're fixing computers for people at home. But GameStop is literally the most pointless store right now. It does not need to be open. It just doesn't. And I get that sucks for a lot of people because they're going to be out of a job, but GameStop promised to pay them. And the thing is I'm getting lots of messages from people that they're not even doing that. They're not paying people like they're saying. If you are uncomfortable to come into work, you are being pressured to work anyway. So even if you're scared of getting sick during this whole thing, they're still pushing you to work at this non-essential store and putting your life at risk and everybody else that decides to shop there. It's amazing to me every single time I see one of these stories that GameStop finds a way to make their reputation even worse. Every single week, they are tarnishing their reputation more and more. And I just keep thinking that they can't sink any lower, but they keep doing it. They keep finding a way. And here we are with them telling their employees to tape plastic GameStop bags to their arms, but lightly, so it doesn't hurt when you rip off the tape, to protect yourself and supposedly the customers, which I still argue is spreading the sickness because you're just reusing that same bag. So let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments down below. If you think that it's fine for GameStop to be open and offering the curbside delivery, I don't think so. Of course, like the video if you guys liked it, subscribe for more content, and as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys. Today I am drinking a new sparkling water from Coke, which I think Coke owns Dasani, so it's kind of strange. I don't know why they need to, but it's called Aha. I don't like the name at all, but the flavors are actually really good. This is lime and watermelon. Really good. I enjoy it. And it was like on sale. And when I was stocking up, I just threw a ton in my cart so I'd have a bunch of sparkling waters and I'd have to go to the store. It's been about almost 3 weeks since I've been to a grocery store because I don't want to go there. It's been like 3 weeks since I've really gone anywhere besides my dad's house, which I am soon going to be moving myself to because I want to self-isolate even more just because some of my roommates, Eric, you know Eric. Eric has a job with Amazon, and he's constantly touching these packages, and Amazon warehouses are getting infected, and I don't want to. So I'm going to be temporarily moving into my dad's house. I'll still be making videos. Hopefully the lighting's just as good as this. I'll have an interesting background of a bajillion games because that's where they're all stored. And yeah, I'll keep trying to keep up the same schedule I've been doing. I'll figure out how to stream. It'll be like nothing ever happened except the background will be different. I just want to let you know because there will be a change in background.